What is up, YouTube? That's here today. I'm back playing some more Pokemon VGC Reg Wi-Fi battles. Today we're busting out a super cool team that uses Shadow Rider Zenta, yes, but with some pretty uncommon teammates. We have like Poison Terra, bulky AV Shempao, super standard like Scarf Chiyu. I really like that we have Flamethrower tech on this one. We have a good old-fashioned Ogerpon Amoonguss core for double redirection, and notably one thing that this team is actually missing is any form of actual speed control. Like, we have Scarf Chiyu, and that's like the closest little bit of speed control that we have. So this team really functions on like pinning your opponent correctly, utilizing your speed tiers to bully them out of their game, and getting like the good double redirectors in the form of like Ogerpon and Amoonguss. I think that Marco Fiera used this team to get top 16 in the most recent Smogon VR tournament that happened last week, and there was another player who actually I think was the main creator of this team. They used this team to top cut or win a big Japanese tournament. I don't have any actual info on that, but I know this is like a pretty popular rental that people have been utilizing and featuring, and I think it's a very just different take on Shadow Rider Zenta that's more optimized to fight against the Shadow Rider Zenta mirror. So if you're struggling with the Shadow Rider Zenta mirror, maybe think about trying out this team. The Shempao is actually really good. I love the Ruination tech into opposing Zentas to put them within range for your Psychics and your Astrals. Very uncommon tech, very cool set. So yeah, let's just hop into some games. Wish me luck. Here we go. I mean, I'm not going to call this a mirror, but we have a lot of the same tools, right? We have Shadow Rider Zentas are restricted. I don't have Tailwind, whereas they do on Roaring Moon, but we both have POW, and then we both have like grass type, you know, Rilla / like Amoonguss, stuff like that. So very standard looking, you know, matchup. I think we're going to have to definitely utilize Amoonguss here. I think Amoonguss is going to be the key mon to this matchup, so I think I will lead with Amoonguss. They're going to get Tailwind up, but we're going to trade with a correct Spore into whatever we want to deal with / redirect their Ursh. That's probably my best bet. I think I will also... Do I really lead Zenta Amoonguss here? I don't dislike Zenta Amoonguss. That's fine. I'm just not really vibing with that. Now I'm going to go POW. I think POW's much better. They don't have Intimidate. I can just lead with POW. POW threatens their Shadow Rider too. If they want to lead their Shadow Rider to get my Amoonguss, I would waste their Terra, which means when we bring out something like the Chiyu and our Shadow Rider, we have advantage. It's going to be really hard to utilize our Shadow Rider in this matchup, but that's where like the redirection comes in from our Amoonguss. The Chiyu's good into their POW. Like, you're starting to see situations where like we can win out. I think Zenta is still super good in this matchup, but at the same time, I'm not as comfortable, but I don't know what kind of Ursh that is. I don't know if it's Scarf Ursh. I don't know if it's Sash Ursh. We don't know where the Sash is on that team, right? Is it on Ursh? Is it on Shadow Rider? Is it on POW? It's a very aggressive lead, but do you see how this Amoonguss just kind of says, you gotta be this tall to ride, homie? You gotta be this tall to ride. So no Moon either. I wonder if it's Moon Shadow Rider in the back. It's actually like a crazy good like back row for this guy. Oh my gosh, that's like so good. I'm just gonna Spore. No, I'm not gonna Spore. Do I want to Spore? No, I'll just Rage Powder. Rage Powder and... Honestly, Ruination would just kill the Ursh if I'm faster, but I don't think so. I'm just going to Ruination the Zenta. It's fine. Put it within range for Psychic. AV POW is certainly a choice. I wonder if anyone's going to switch. Obviously, Zenta wouldn't be, but let's see. See if this is Scarf, Ursh, or Sash. U-turn. It is Scarf. Cool. Love that for us. So I want to see if this is Roaring Moon coming in here. Remember, POW's going to shred my Amoonguss's defense, so like this Zenta's going to hit really hard into it, but at the same time, like, I think we're fine. There's the Shadow Rider. Cool. Dang, imagine if I just, like, hit that slot with, like, an Icicle Crash or something. Be raw. Ruination, we are faster than Zenta, as we should be. Big damage into that slot. And then, like, what? Body Press? Nice. Love that. Alright, so I'm going to try my best to get a Regenerator proc, because I think we need it. I'm going to pivot in the Chiyu there. A Poison Terra, that's a really good looking Terra. Really good. I really like that, actually. Like, my Terras, what else do I need my Terras for? Water, Poison, Ghost, Go. I'm just going to Terra. I guess you can Astral, but like... That's okay. Like, you can use your Terra with your Shadow Rider and Astral, and we'll just trade. I think that's fine. I don't think they're Psychicking my POW. Poison AV POW is so cool. This should be pinning the Shadow Rider even if they do Terra, between like a next turn I can go for like an Ice Shard / Heat Wave to finish off if they go like Dark Terror or something. So that's their Terror right here. They are Terastallizing that Shadow Rider. I wonder what they're Terastallizing into. It shouldn't be double dipping Ghost. It's going to go Dark. There it is. Awesome. So this is still going to do like 25%. And we're probably not going to lose them on this turn. If we happen to lose our Chi-Yu to like a Body Press in that slot, that would suck. But I also think there's a world where like the Zenta protects. We'll see. They could also just like attack the POW with like a Body Press and it wouldn't do that much. I think they'd much rather go into the POW. I think they were probably hitting the POW last turn, honestly. Protect is a correct play. You know, we condition that. So let's see what the Shadow Rider's doing. Sucker hits. Awesome. Just wanted to do some damage. That's all I was looking for, some big damage here. Astral's completely fine into this board. POW no longer resists, but like, we're okay. Yep. Ward? No ward. Okay. So you have Wide Guard. I love that we have Flamethrower here, by the way. I really, really like that. I'm going to Flamethrower here. And we're going to lose the POW. So I might as well just Ice Shard here. And then get ready to bring in my Amoonguss. Love that. Nice. Good damage. Perfect. Love Flamethrower on Chi-Yu. Don't always need to use Overheat. They should be within range for a Flamethrower from Chi-Yu as well. And I don't know if we're timid or modest, but like I think we're fine. Remember, they have Scarf Ursh back there, but I actually want this POW down, so like they can't just dump truck me with their Ursh, because they can't like double dip Water Terror anymore. I could probably get away with just sending out my Shadow Rider here. But I think it's still probably just a tad safer to go Amoonguss and redirect. Actually, I want to check my stats. Are we timid? We are modest. We still should outspeed their Ursh, though. Yeah, we'll go Amoonguss. Just a little bit safer. And if they come out with something like completely different, like we'll see how this goes. There it is. Perfect. So I can go redirection. I should, like I said, we should be able to take out their Shadow Rider here. So Flamethrower, Rage Powder. Awesome. If you want to protect Shadow Rider and go for Surging Strikes, like be my guest, like I got Rocky Helmet for a reason. And we should be good. I wonder if the last one is Roaring Moon. I still like, though, Amoonguss would have been good in Roaring Moon, too. Yep, protect. Are they gonna... would they have, like, Scarf Taunt? I don't really care if they do. But it's fine. Yeah, you're gonna close combat this slot? Like, go nuts, bro. That's all you. Flamethrower blocked. We are faster. So it's gonna be Adamant Scarf Ursh on their side. U-turn again. Okay. Absolutely acceptable. Good U-turn there. Are they coming in with the Roaring Moon? Like, I still think we're fine. I think that we get it with Flamethrower. Maybe they're gonna, like... attack the Amoonguss and then like pivot out Shadow Rider for Ursh and soak the Flamethrower. Like, that actually be kind of bad. It's POW. That's still fine, I think, though. Ooh, but then POW plus their Ursh can check my Shadow Rider. Oh. Well, I think I actually am fine here. We go this and this. Yeah. And then Ursh comes out and we just check the POW, maybe? I'm fine in this. Sucker won't break Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu's Rumormons aren't affected. Just gotta get the Shadow Rider KO'd. Nice. Really surprised they didn't pivot in the Ursh there. That was super obvious. I think they probably thought they'd live, but like, it's modest Chi-Yu. You know? Nice crash blocked, and now you come with your Ursh. And now I can redirect that said move. And I can go for the burn into the POW. I don't know if I want to. You know, I think we have a lot of options here. I think I can, like, low-key... If I keep my Amoonguss alive, I win. I could pivot. Maybe they lock into the wrong move. They know we have Shadow Rider. I think the right play is actually double protect and like lose the Chi-Yu to Ursh. I think that's like honestly the play. Make a read. Never lucky. I mean, what else was I doing with this Amoonguss, honestly? That would have won me the game. And if we get the burn here, it's also quite nice. Oh, they just KOs. I guess it was Sash Shadow Rider. Okay. Yeah, it's GG. Cool, take those wins. So, yeah, the 50-50 of, like, where are all the items, you know. We take those wins all the way to the bank. But I really like the Protect Amoonguss there, because it would have protected us from that POW if it was sashed. And then, you know, we get to bring out the Shadow Rider here. POW would have been at Sash, then we would have clicked Rage Powder to redirect the Ursh using Surging Strikes and the POW Sucker Punch and just Astral out to win the game. So that was the idea, right? But that being said, we still get the W here. We don't even need to click Astral. And that's GG, baby. Wins up. This team's kind of busted. All right, Shadow Rider Pagos screens. I think Amoonguss is another, like, really, really good mon here. Could be Goggles and Sin on that team. Like, honestly, it really could. We have Encore with our Shadow Rider. I think that there's nothing really wrong with leading with Amoonguss. That being said, I don't know what kind of Ursh that is. I think Ursh is always the scary mon in this matchup. I don't see a problem with mid-game Zenta. I know that looks kind of weird, but mid-game Zenta seems fine. If I just opened up incredibly aggressive like this, that could also be very nice. I will do that. I'm probably supposed to be using Ogerpon more in this team than I think I have been, but at the same time, I feel really good about this. I also think POW could have been an acceptable option here, but I don't think we need it. And I think saving my Zenta until that Pagos kind of locks in and does whatever it wants to do so we can, like, wide guard out the Starstorms, I think that's probably a really good play. They're hoping to see Zenta off the rip, and I'm just not going to give it to him. Perfect. Yeah, that board would have been pretty good in a Zenta. You can just go Psychic CC and, like, just really bully it. And so what I would really like about this is, like, I'm now the one dictating play with this Chi-Yu, and I have the ability to redirect. So it's like, you see how, like, ahead we are? We can go for the Dark Pulse into the Shadow Rider. They can pivot up for Insim, then I have the redirection. Like, I really like what this is putting down. And that's probably Sash Shadow Rider, right? So it's probably Sash Shadow Rider. I think one of the only things about this team that I would probably change is I'm not a big fan of Overheat if you have Flamethrower. If this was Psychic instead of Overheat to be able to pin that Ursh, like, oh my gosh, that'd be so nice. That being said, I think what I'm going to do is just Dark Pulse here. I'll Rage Powder for one turn. I don't see a problem with that. I think it's keeping them a little bit too honest, but at the same time, completely fine with that. If you want to pivot in Sin for that Shadow Rider, be my guest. That forces you to actually have exactly in Sin. Rilla's not the same type of pivot, right? Because I can Sludge Bomb that, you know, I can actually bully that. I can Dark Pulse that, right? It needs to be exactly Incineroar here. It looks like they're staying in, and the fact that we see them Terastalize means that Terapagos is probably not coming to the matchup. Is that water? Grass? Great. Great tech. So the only other option there was actually, like, Dark Pulse the Shadow Rider and Spore the Ursh. So it's like, it doesn't matter that I Rage Powdered here. Great Protect from them. I love what they're putting down here. I think this is really good. But at the same time, they now don't have access to, you know, Terra for the Terapagos. So it means I probably didn't bring it. DP gonna get blocked. Man, imagine if I clicked Heat Wave there. I thought about it. Like, I really, truly, honestly did. That would have been the easiest GG of my life. Yeah, I think this is completely fine. And I'm assuming that they're Scarfed, but we don't know. Don't know for sure. I wonder if I'm gonna get Encored because I protect, or I Rage Powdered. They have to be Sash back there. Okay. Okay. And this looks terrible, but it's the play, I think. See if they have Encore. I should have just Heat Wave, man. It's gonna do a lot. I just need to get damage on there. So it is Scarf Ursh. So it's fine. Let's see if they have the Encore. Wisp. Oh, I don't care. Good Wisp. Trade Wisp for Spore? Love that for us. Like, this Zenta, it honestly, it matters, but it's not, like, required for me to win the game, I don't think. Yep. let's see how we want to handle this. This is still more damage to do there. You're scarfed. You're going to go into the Zenta. You're just going to try and stick your damage. And then I'm going to be able to come in and go for fat Astrals. It works for me. That's the only real play that I got. So let's see what happens. I wonder if they pivot out the Ursh. And we still haven't clocked the Shadow Rider Sash, but it hasn't even started its sleep turn. So like, I feel like we're okay. Gotta be getting a little bit greedy though. I gotta do like 25% of this Ursh to make sure it goes down to Astral. Because we still have Terra, we're gonna probably have to double dip it. Nice. Love to see that. That's what we needed. So we're gonna barely live this. They have to be asleep on that Shadow Rider. And then I'm really wondering if I should click... Should I click Wide Guard this turn or make a read? I'm gonna pivot in here. All right, this is gonna clock their Sash. If they pivot in Sin, they pivot in Sin. This is the most damage I can do. I'm gonna be getting a +1 if I KO the Ursh slot. And if they don't attack with the Ursh, well, then we get a free pivot there. Or free, like, chunk damage on the Incin, anything that comes in. Terapagos is a problem Pokemon in the back, but I actually don't think that they brought Terapagos here. So, let's see what happens. Pivot out there. Probably Incin or Pagos, right? So, I thought about body pressing that on the rip, but let's see if it's required. Pagos, there it is. Awesome. So, you can honestly attack this, this Shadow Rider slot with your Ursh. I won't die. I'm going to barely live. Not barely, but I will comfortably live this. And if you want to attack the Zenta, that's also really funny because it's now an Amoonguss. I guess like it'd be really bad because then I wouldn't be getting any my +1 boost. That'd be kind of bad actually. Hit my Shadow Rider. Yeah, on second thought, actually hit Shadow Rider, please. Now let's go. Double dip Ghost. Very greedy. That sucks. I don't get any boost. That's really bad. Yeah. So I wasted Terra. I'm going to protect Spore the Terapagos. And then if they protect to block my Spore, then I will Encore, right? So we have a lot of outs here. Yeah, I'm for it. Surprised they still brought Pagos. I bet it has Dark Pulse. That's like what I'm thinking. They still have Dark Pulse. Alright, so you have a Fake Out. We have to make that play. If you're Fake Out and my Amoonguss making a read, we have to do this. This is the win-win play. Because if, like, we could then just catch you in the Encore, right? Ah, GG's, we lost. They're just wood hammering. Good play. Yeah. Rip. I really thought they'd pick out the Amoonguss and Calm Mind. Because they were just wood hammering my Shadow Rider right now, right? U-turn, okay. That's it. That was... We take those. You know, it sucks I'm not getting the value that I want, but at the same time, like, I'm not losing the game either. I think they could have just wood hammered the heck out of my Shadow Rider. Because, like, I'll restore that back with the grassy terrain. And I still have Zenta, like, it's still technically alive if I need to live for, like, one more turn and do something weird. Alright, so we have the Encore that we just showed into the Pagos. This is going to be so hard to do, though. Amoonguss is so good in a row. Like, honestly, if we can break their Shadow Rider and then deal with the Pagos, we can just win. But I have to pick... if I can correctly Encore lock it. We need more than a one-turn sleep on their Shadow Rider here. Let me think about how I want to do this, actually. If you right played a Sludge Bomb there, and Psychic here, because this can give me a Spit F drop. And that's the reason why this is a really good play just like this is because this is now Rilla pivoting in onto a Sludge Bomb, which is super effective stab. So I don't need this sped up drop. I would take it. Okay. I wonder if I can KO with... I wonder if Psychic just gets a KO. I highly doubt Psychic just gets a KO. I still have shots to win this, I think. Their Shadow Rider is so susceptible. And I can Encore Lock that Pago since it showed Calm, and I will eventually win. You know? Yep. Alright, Psychic probably gets that KO. Oh, nice poison. Psychic probably gets that KO next turn. I don't know if I want to use the PP on Psychic, though. What else would I need to do here? I could Rage Powder if I think they're going to Dark Pulse me. I could Respore if I think they're going to do something like that. I don't know if ever, like... Should I be trying to get the... I think I'm just going to Respore, but at the same time, they're never going to give me another option for that. I think what I can actually do here is just Sludge Bomb here, and just go straight into the Encore here to make it so they are just locked. I'll eat the Wood Hammer, I'll be at 1, but the Rilla will get KO'd, and then I'll just be able... I think this just gets me the win. There's the Wake Up. There. See, I'm so good at this game. We could have just lost the game there, because they were never going to lock in anything else, right? So now they are Encore locked again. You can Wood Hammer me, but Wood Hammer plus Sludge Bomb means you take out. And then your Shadow Rider has to have more than a 1-turn sleep, and I win. It's going to be a really slow win, but I think it is a win because we have the 8 Encores. I wish that Zenta could come in and do something. We get 1 hit with the Zenta, the burned Zenta. And I'm not even going to have any pluses on my Shadow Rider. Oh, this is going to be so hard. We need more than a 1-turn sleep on this Shadow Rider too. Battles canceled. Yeah, I think I had it. I do think I had it, you know. Cool. That was great. We played to our outs. Like, definitely played to our outs. This is a pretty high skill ceiling team, all things considered. Like, having to play the game without the speed control is really, really hard in those, like, mirror-esque matches versus, like, other Shadow Riders and stuff like that. But this team's actually really cool. I would try this one out. This is a pretty fun rental. Smeargle, Valiant, Kali Eye. Okay. I do think that Amoonguss is, like, really, really good here. I just keep thinking that. Like, it's just... I'm not even wrong. Like, Amoonguss is still, like, really good here. We don't have the terrain control to let us spore things, but it's still good. Sludge Bomb to that Kali Eye is a lot of damage. I think I could probably lead Shadow Rider here, though. Like, what do you do? Wide Guard? Do I care? I kind of care. Pow? What about Pow here? I like Pow here enough. I think Chi-Yu's acceptable. I like Ogerpon here, actually. Like, Ogerpon Chi-Yu looks like it actually just kind of says, like, about to get dumpied. But if they led Smeargle, they would always pick out the Ogerpon. So I want to lead with something that actually invalidates Smeargle. That's, like, what I really want. So that is this lead here. This invalidates Smeargle. Okay. So I'm going to bring my Pow. And I'm really thinking about the last Mon here. I think it has to be Ogerpon. It's something that has Sash built in and that is good into Volk and Kali Eye with a little bit of redirection from around on the late game. I vibe with that. I don't think you need Zenta. I think it feels really weird to not bring Zenta here, but at the same time, I think their board is like made to prey on Zenta with like the Volk and the Spore potential from Smeargle. Like, I'm being respectful of Spore, but at the same time, I think we're fine. this board, we are about to just slap this guy into like next week, I think. You're gonna lose both your Mons. Do I need to Terra my Chi-Yu here? I don't think so. They'd have to be Jolly Ursh to outspeed our Chi-Yu. I'm okay with that. You can be Jolly Ursh. Like, bruh. Bruh. I mean, if they go like Water Terra Volk, the cool thing is the Shadow Rider's double dipping the Ghost here. So like you still get the double dip plus the Chi-Yu damage shred. That's a really, really weird looking lead into me. They're trying to check Zenta, right? That's the thing, is like I gotta beat the Zenta. And then like if they have just like Miraidon Shadow Rider, we're gonna fold that over. So the only way I think we lose is like weird misses on Heat Wave. Like Jolly Water Terra Ursh would be problematic. He is going Terra here. Probably gonna be Water, right? I think the Shadow Rider eats this though. I do think that we eat it unless they... We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get a burn off my Heat Wave. They are faster because you saw they went Terra first, but I think Shadow Rider just eats this. You need a secondary damage steroid on top of that to be able to Oko most Shadow Rider sets. I should be left at like 13 HP or something, right? Heat Wave hits, and we can also burn. Look at that damage, big damage. No burns, never lucky. You can go into the Chi-Yu too, like that's probably fine. Ooh, that's too much damage. It's a high roll, right? That's unfortunate. I could have swore the Shadow Rider would be built to withstand that. I think those are like a massive high roll though. They high rolled 2 of the 3 hits, at least. You only need about like 12 points in defense to have that never happen to you, so it sucks when it does. All right. What is the play? It's POW. Yeah. All right, you see I have Sucker. You know that I have it. You know that this is a Sucker Punch that I can use into your Ursh. So you're going to Redirection? That's okay. Okay, cool. That's still within range for a Heat Wave. Let's go. Good damage. You can break this POW. Like, I can't stop you from breaking the POW. This is just my only out, right? Had to do it just like that. Get that Ursh off the board, and then we're going to try and win out with Ogre Pawn Bug Buzz. Into Chi-Yu, huh? I don't know about that one, Chief, because like I'm still massively pinning your Volk here. This is great. Bug Buzz, huh? Imagine if they gave Volcarona Pollen Puff. That would have been cracked, bro. Yeah, Kali's not a good bring-in here. Miraidon's your best, but you have to win a speed tie versus a POW, and you no longer have Terra. You're getting double Short of Ruin shredded. Yeah, this is a dicey one. Is Kali? Kali's probably more problematic. I think I have to Sucker Punch it, which I do not want to do. But I don't think they can eat like Heat Waves and play around that. Like if they're Trick Rooming, you know? Just game out here. Ooh, are you gonna Rage Powder me? I can't stop that. It's a great looking play if they Rage Powder here. I don't think they have like Quiver and Rage Powder and all those tech though. I think they would have done that last turn. Still very dicey turn. If they're Trick Rooming, they have to eat a Heat Wave and then a secondary Sucker Punch. Yeah, so let's see. This one's gonna be very close. Rage Powder, great Rage Powder from them. Absolutely amazing Rage Powder. If I had a Throat Chop here, I would have clicked it. I just don't, right? So we're probably gonna lose our Chi-Yu this turn. Really good that we still hit that Kali. So important. It's within range for Sucker. And we do get the burn. We love to see it. We do be loving to see that. Thank you so much. Whew. Okay. Glacial. Good Glacial. Goes right into the Chi-Yu. Breaks up the POW. But I think that's probably game as long as we don't lose a speed tie into Miraidon. There might be an even safer way to play this too. It's hard to say though. Are we full speed POW? We should be, right? I don't know if How, like, are we adamant? No, we're jolly. Oh, we have no attack investment. We're all over the place. Yeah, I didn't get this team with EVs. So I guess you just double. This is actually really hard. See, because, like, I'm pretty sure that, like, that breaks the Miraidon. Let's try it. What? What? No way! Oh, that's actually really bad. That's just game. Why does it have Protect? Hello? I need an adult. Why do you have Protect? Hello? Yeah, with the fact that our POW doesn't have any attack means, like, we just don't do any damage. Like, we do not KO with that Ice Spinner. This is bad. Our Ogerpon's gonna be really sad here. Like, that's Sash Clock. So now, how do we win? Alright, the only way to win out here would be to... It's to Sucker here and protect my Ogre. And then next turn, follow me Ice Spinner, win a speed tie, 2 Ice Spinners. That's it. That's the only win con here. And I think they're going to play around that correctly. They might even just... If they dazzle, they dazzle. But, like, I'm so happy that thing went down. Goodbye. Okay. What is your... If you're going for an Electro Drift into my POW, you're a gamer. If you're going for a Dazzle, Electro Drift into POW... If I live this, I live this, you know. I have AV. I got bulk. I can't believe we lost to a Protect Miraidon, bro. What? Why does it have Protect? Is it Orb? Is it not even Orb? It's not even Orb, bro. This guy's, like, actually nuts. GG's. Honestly, we got put behind very early in that one. And we actually outsped the Miraidon here. What a weird team, bro. Crazy. I don't think there was anything else I could have really done. Because if I would have nuked into the Miraidon... I didn't know that I would outspeed with Ogerpon. So I guess I could have doubled into the Miraidon last turn instead of Sucker Punching into the Kali. Like, I guess I could have done that. But, like, in what world should Ogerpon be outspeeding Miraidon? Probably not that many. All right. Torn. Finally, no Torn Ursh. We fought a lot of Ursh today. Definitely going to be respectful of Smeargle here. I think I'm going to lead Amoonguss into this. I think you have to. Just Spore the Smeargle and you're good to go. So this is good. I love being able to use my Protect buttons. It's so nice. Amoonguss is good. I think Amoonguss Ogerpon is actually really good. I can just go follow me away to stop the taunt and just Spore their Torn and then Spore their other mons and we're good to go. And if you want to go something aggressive into that, like a Zenta, I can just Spore that and protect like Spiky Shield. Like I love that. We're going to go mid-game Shadow Rider. And I'm looking at Chi-Yu over Zenta. I'm not actually seeing the value that Zenta gives me here. Like we have Wide Guard and that's fine. I guess like I really like POW here. Chi-Yu's fine. POW and Chi-Yu basically do the same thing in this matchup, but I think that one of them... I think that POW's low-key better because it doesn't shred my teammate's Spadef, which means, like, I don't want to have a Chi-Yu on the board and have my Shadow Rider be at, like, 80% and get crit by, like, a Thunderclap, High Roll, Chi-Yu damage shred, you know? I think that they're both usable in Dorilla. I think that, like, honestly, POW's... It's not that it's better into Zenta, but it doesn't get locked up as well by Zenta. So, like, you know, if I have Chi-Yu Shadow Rider and they save their Zenta in the back and Wide Guard me, I would lose, right? But POW gives us options to Sucker Punch and play around things. It's a very solid lead here. We talked about what we do here. We just go follow me. Actually, we double protect this first turn. I don't care if you want to decorate your Torn. This will let us avoid the... well, like, would you fake out an Amoonguss? No, you're fake outing the Ogerpon, which means when you fake out the Ogerpon, you get the Spiky Shield, you lose your Sash. So we are fine to Double Protect. Break that Sash. Nice little passive play here. And then, like, honestly, I almost want to, like, pull the trigger and just, like, Ivy Cudgel the Torn and, like, Spore the Amoonguss and be like, bro, what are you going to do? Like, that Spore is big useless right now. Let's see it. Who you fake outin'? He's like gonna shed tail me, bro. Fake out. Oof. Oh, so good. So good. Give me that Sash break. No tail when he's Bleak Winding here. Taunt. Ooh, good taunt. So they know that we have Follow Me. Like, I can go Follow Me Spore. They absolutely see that Follow Me Spore is a thing. They get a defense boost. I like this play. I'm going to Spore here and Ivy Cudgel here. Love this play for me. If you would like to taunt me, you're losing your Torn and you never got up Tailwind. And if you Tailwind, you're getting Spored, bro. And you're losing your Torn here. Love to see that. You can go for some pivots. You can pivot out that Torn for like Zenta. Ogerpon Gamer right now. And Ogerpon outspeeds Torn too. So if you're just trying to click Bleakwind, actually, no, it's a we don't outspeed. Sorry, we don't. They're 111, right? But we don't know their life. We don't know what they're rocking here. They could be Sash too. Let's see it. They're big thinking. Nice. So that's the slot that we are sporing. Could be Rilla. I think they had Rilla on that team. Zenta, awesome. You can totally taunt me, bro. No one's saying you can't taunt me. You are allowed to click that button. Oh, and they click the Bleakwind. Oof. Oh, no. Oh, no. And it's going to get worse for this guy before it gets better. Oh, no. Goodbye, Torn. Try to get a little bit cheeky. He's like, I could have just taunted, but it's like, yeah, you should have. You still would have lost your Torn. You see how that's still like a good play for us? You still would have lost that Torn, which means no Tailwind, which means my Shadow Rider is going to be able to come in and do stuff. You can come in with, what, Shadow Rider? Oh, he mad now. He big mad. Okay. Let me think about what we need to do versus Shadow Rider. Honestly, sticking a Spore into it will just win the game. Sorry. I love this play. This blocks Psychic. This mitigates damage from Astral. This threatens to KO if you're orbed because of the Sword of Ruin damage shred on the Ivy Cudgel. Like, I love a lot of this play. This is a really, really high level play. Is against the Protect. Like, now I just have my board that I want active anyways. Love this. That's my Amoonguss come out and have like a lot of value waiter. Okay, so I really got to start thinking about prioritizing the Zenta here. I wonder how much damage like Ruination really does to Zenta. I think I should Ruinate the Zenta. I really do. Love that. I'm not taking the bait on the Shadow Rider. There's no reason to. Dark Terror, there it is. No reason to take the bait. As long as Zenta doesn't get a one-turn sleep on me, we're fine. This is not doing nearly enough. Let's see if they're Orb. Oof, good damage on Overpawn, though. They are Orb. Okay, cool. And if Zenta doesn't wake up here, we should be fine. Outspeed Zenta is very nice. That didn't do anything. I thought it would do more. Honestly, I really did. I really thought that would do like 5% more. That sucks. I could have just thrown that into the Shadow Rider. Completely my mistake then. Okay. I want to see if the Zenta wakes up. This is going to potentially put the Shadow Rider within range for an Ice Shard. Remember, our POW is like super weak. We don't have any investment. But he's taken 2 ticks of Orb, and I think this might put him within range for like Ice Shard. And Zenta can wake up and get the KO here, but then I'd be able to just come up with my Shadow Rider. That's the wake up, never lucky. Who are they going after though? Ah, good play. Alright, so I can come in with my Shadow Rider here and win like a speed tie, or I can come in with my Amoonguss. This is such a hard decision. I mean, I think that you almost always click Psychic here. And you're going to be astraling me. And then I have to win a speed tie. That's what it comes down to. I have to win a speed tie. Next turn. Not this turn. I want to see if they protect. They could also, like, yep, there's the wide guard. Have to do this. Get this guy off the board. Give me that +1. First speed tie is mine. Not that I needed it. Oh, no, that's bad. We just lose then. We just lost. Straight up. Straight up just lost. There's no way to get out of that pin. Is there actually one way to get out of the pin? Because I can protect here and Spore. And then maybe I'll get like I needed the +1 off that though. That was the thing that we actually needed. We needed the +1 to make sure our Astral could tick them out. But if they're taking 2 ticks at Astral and we win another speed tie, we can win out. We need to protect our Shadow Rider. And I will Terra here to not die to Psychic. And I think the right play is just Sludge Bomb them there. I think that's just the play. And if you protect your Shadow Rider, there is a weird board state that I can go for where I Encore you. Let's see. I wish I had normal Terra. I would just click the normal Terra button like easy peasy. Now let's see what they're doing here though. If they double into my Amoonguss, make a read on my Protect, and go like Psychic plus Body Press, I might lose. Did you see if they throw the wide guard out? Yep. Cool. Being respectful. And Psychic. Cool, we should eat this. And they're going to take an Orb Tick, and we should be fine. We should be fine. We're fine. I'm fine. Whew. Okay. Now, I don't think Smeargle has any damage-dealing moves. I don't think. He has Fake Out. What would be the position of, like, so they could Fake Out my, if they Fake Out my, I'm okay with this. I think you always Psychic here. And I will actually Rage Powder. I think that is the play. Unless it's hit Smeargle. No, that's not the play. You always hit the Zenta. And you Rage Powder. Yep. You can Fake Out the Amoonguss, and then you lose your Zenta. And if you Fake Out the Amoonguss and Protect, well then next turn, like, I can just still... Yeah, this is fine. This is GG. you just lost the game to Rocky Helmet. Woo! This guy actually sped up the game by a turn. We take those. Love to see that. Oof. Speed up these up. Cool. Yeah, that was a little dicey in the middle. I really thought that the Ivy Cudgel through the Sword of Ruin damage shred would have done just a little bit more to the Zenta. Like, I know it's resisted, super resisted, but like I really thought it would do just like a little bit more. Like the shred that he was at made this a lot harder than it needed to be. But this is actually a really cool team. I feel like playing the game with like these sort of teams that don't have inherent speed control really make you choose the right mons for every single, like for the right situation. So think about using this rental. Think about, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and peace out. I'll see you guys next time.